Welcome back to SBR Daily MLB Odds Report. Today our resident handicappers have provided us with their top value picks of the day, starting with the match between the Atlanta Braves and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The NL East is getting crazy right now. The Marlins have won 3 straight and the Braves have put together a 5-game winning streak. But they're still both behind the Nationals, who have reeled off 8 consecutive victories. Now Garrett Cole and Alex Wood will get the start for tonight's game for their respective teams, and both have been solid throughout the season. Regardless, Willie is banking on the over 7.5 runs for this game. The other game that we're looking at is the LA Angels against the Boston Red Sox, and the Angels have pushed into the narrow lead in the division. And now they'll get the call on the trusty right-hander Garrett Richards, who is 13-4 with a 2.53 ERA this season. For Boston, we got Clay Buchholz getting the start. Willie has opted for the under, while Ross thinks that we will get better value if we side with the Angels in this case. The other game that we're looking at is the Cincinnati Reds against the St. Louis Cardinals. Another interesting matchup here, as Lance Lynn and Johnny Cueto have been straight up dominant at times this season. The MLB betting odds are favoring St. Louis at home, but there's really not much in it. Anytime you can get Cueto, who's 15-6 with a 2.06 ERA this season, at an underdog price, you've got to consider it. Even though the Cardinals have been terrific at Busch Stadium, Ron is all over the price on Cueto and the Reds, so pick up the Reds at plus 105. The other game that we're covering right now is the San Diego Padres against the LA Dodgers, and it's been a good start for Roberto Hernandez's career with the Dodgers. He's been more than serviceable thus far, and will try to keep it going in a plus matchup at home against the Padres this evening. Now left-hander Eric Stoltz will take on the bump for San Diego, and he's a deplorable 5-13 with a 4.64 ERA on the season. Now Ron is taking the Padres to win as dogs, but Jeff is going on the other direction, and he's siding with Hernandez and the Dodgers. Now the other game that we're looking at is the New York Mets against the Oakland Athletics, and this afternoon we've got 2 hard-throwing righties taking the bump. Jeff Samardzija and Zach Wheeler have been good this season, so we could see 2 struggling offenses in this match. Ross is on the same page and will be selecting the under as one of his sports picks of the day. The other game that we're covering right now is the San Francisco Giants against the Chicago Cubbies. And tough to trust either Edwin Jackson or Jake Peavy, right? Peavy looks like he's starting to settle down, but he's still been prone for breakdowns. And the same pretty much can be said about Edwin Jackson, who is 6-13 with a 5.74 ERA on the year. In the end, Jeff sees the value in the first 5 innings of play on San Francisco, and we can't fault him for thinking that way at all. And last but not least, we're looking at the Houston Astros against the New York Yankees. We close out at Yankee Stadium, where Michael Pineda will make his 2nd start of the season since returning from injury. He looked sharp last week and now gets a good home matchup against the heavy strikeout Astros. Houston turns to Scott Feldman, and he's also rounding into form. And at such an attractive price, Joe is putting his faith in the large road underdogs to get it done. Well, that's all we got for you guys today, so make sure to check back with us tomorrow for another episode of SBR Daily MLB Odds Update, where we give you the insider picks from our resident handicappers. For SportsbookReview.com, this is Dax Floyd.